What's up? This is BoxingWave. Today I am going to speak on open scoring, give you my thoughts. Before I give you my opinion on it, I am going to just explain real quick what it is, okay? I'm not really sure of when it began, but basically open scoring means, traditionally you would have the judges. There's 3 judges. They score, to score the fight. A lot of people don't even know that the Harold Letterman or the unofficial cards that you will see round by round in each fight, those are not the official cards. A lot of casual people that watch the fight, they think that that's the official card, okay? It's not the official card. There's just 3 judges, and at the end of the fight, only at the end of the fight, we will know how the judges scored the fight, okay? So open scoring basically is round by round, we will know the official scorecards on who the judges pick per round throughout the fight. The corners will know, the fighter will know, the audience, the crowd, people will know who the judges picked per round, okay? Now, it's basically, this changes everything, because the fighter that is winning, if he knows that the judge is picking him to win, he is just going to continue fighting the way that he's fighting, because obviously the judges like whatever that particular fighter is doing, okay? Whereas the guy that's losing, he's like, well, regardless if he thinks he's winning or the corner thinks he's winning, because remember, we see robberies in boxing all the time. If you're winning the fight and the corner is telling you to keep doing what you're doing a great job. Meanwhile, the judges have you losing the fight, you won't even know until the fight is over, especially if you think you're winning, I mean, last night, the Bernard Hopkins-Shumanev fight was on. We watched that fight. I mean, Bernard Hopkins even knocked them down. I thought Bernard Hopkins won every round except the first 2, okay? But there was a judge in there that thought Shumanev won the fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that was all about, but whatever. So basically, the fighter that's losing will know, and he will have to change whatever he's doing. He will have to change. Usually when you're losing, that means you have to be more aggressive. I'm assuming in most cases, if you're losing a fight, you will have to be more aggressive, because you're not landing enough punches. Whatever you're doing, it's not working for you, regardless of how you feel the fight is going. All right. So it's one of those situations where people are gonna hate it or love it. They're gonna either hate it or love it, because sometimes if you're losing a fight, if the fighter, the winner, the guy that's winning is they're gonna keep doing whatever they're doing that's winning, getting them the rounds. Especially if you're losing, if you're clearly losing, if you're hurt, you're bleeding, you got lumps on your face, you're getting winded. Sometimes even when you're losing, you might just be setting that person up for a big shot. I mean, look at how many fights that we see someone winning the whole fight and they end up getting knocked out. We seen that with Pacquiao and Marquez in the 4th fight. I remember a fight, I think it was last year. I think what's it, Mickey Bay, the guy that's on Mayweather Promotions. I remember that fight. I don't remember too well, but I remember he was winning like every round, and the guy ended up knocking him out in the last round, I think, or the 11th, or I don't know. Look at Jermaine Taylor. Jermaine Taylor used to win a lot of fights throughout the fight, and he ended up losing at the end, because certain fighters just know how to turn it up when it comes down to it in the championship rounds. They know how to say, you know what, I am losing, I'm gonna knock this guy out. But going back to what I was saying before, sometimes even when a boxer is losing, they want to stick to their game plan. See, now with the open scoring, if a boxer is losing and they know the official scorecard, they might tend to escape their game plan and go into fighting a more aggressive way, because they want to actually win the rounds instead of counting on whatever the other strategy was before going into that fight. Is they're not gonna they're gonna escape that strategy and go on to fighting another way. That's just one outcome. That's not always the outcome, but that is a outcome of fighting with open scoring. You know, another fight I can bring up recently, Canelo versus Trout. The judges, I think either one of the judges, I think, had Canelo winning just about every round. You know what I'm saying? With the open scoring, these judges, you know, Trout was definitely, I mean, I thought Canelo won the fight, but I thought it was a real close fight. I mean, it could have definitely went, just like Paulie and Adrian Broner. That was a real close fight. But I think Canelo won. I gave it to Canelo, but I can't be too mad at the people that thought Trout was winning. But I remember in the corner telling Trout, like, listen, the judges got you down like every round. You know, when that happens, it kind of makes you want to be more aggressive, throwing more punches. Now Canelo, he knows he's winning. You know, so before he even goes into the championship rounds, he's already in cruise control. He's like, well, I'm good because the judges got me up this amount of rounds. I knocked them down. I don't really have to do anything from this point on. You know what I'm saying? So depending on what you like, you might like it. You might like open scoring because in most ways it's gonna make the fighter that is losing be more aggressive. So in that way, in that sense, it's good. In a sense, it could be bad too because mentally, depending on who the fighter is, him knowing he's losing or knowing that he's winning, the guy that's winning the fight, he might be in cruise control and he might slip up and end up losing a fight or getting knocked out because he's being a little too comfortable or whatever. So it depends on what you like, all right? Me personally, I'm not really for it, but I'm not against it neither, you know? It all depends on who's fighting. You know, is this going to take mentally, what is this going to do to each fighter? You know, every fighter is going to be, some fights it might be good, but in other fights it might be bad, you know, because a guy knows he's losing, and if he's not an aggressive fighter, he's losing, and he might go and fight a style that he's not used to fighting, you know. Trout, he is not used to being aggressive. We saw that in the Lara fight. He had to be aggressive because he was fighting and losing at Lara's pace. So he had to be the guy that moved forward and threw wild power shots. When we know Trout is a technician, a defensive fighter, he likes to take his time and stuff. So anyway, I'm just giving you an example. So me personally, I'm not really against it. I'm not really for it. The reason why I'm not for it is because, you know, the reason why I'm neutral is because it doesn't really change, in my opinion, it doesn't really change the integrity of the sport. If a judge is going to rob a certain fighter, he's going to do it, whether it's open scoring or not. All right? If he can give a fight, if he goes into a fight in his mind already where I got to pick for this fighter, okay, he's going to do that regardless if it's open scoring or not. So it doesn't really change the integrity of the sport, in my opinion. So this is why I'm neutral towards it. I mean, you know, I guess it's cool sometimes to see how the judges view the fight, how they actually see it while we're watching the fight. But at times it might take away from what the game plan of the fighter that is actually in the way. Like, you know, no one should be, you know, it's bad enough that judges make the bad, you know, they have bad, terrible scoring at times. But me personally, I feel like you don't want to give them any more power than they already have a lot of power. You go in there and fight 12 rounds and you do great, and then the judge say you lose. You know, they give you they'll make you lose a fight when you clearly was the winner. So I feel like that's just giving them more power that they don't actually need. The only people that should have power are the guys that's actually standing in the ring, the two fighters and the referee, because the referee obviously is going to control the fight, you know, make sure everything goes right in the ring. So basically, yeah, that's my thoughts on, you know, open scoring. You know, I think that it's just, I don't know, in some cases it's good, some cases it's bad. Like I'm totally neutral with it, you know, but it's something that's agreed upon beforehand, you know. So if a boxer does not like it, I mean, it's part of the contract. As far as I'm concerned, it's part of the contract. All right, so you don't have to agree to anything that you don't want to do. So in that sense, I guess it is good because it should be agreed upon first. So I'm neutral with it. That's my opinion. So you guys let me know what you guys think on open score. Do you like it? If not, let me know what you feel, how you feel about it. If I made a mistake or if it's something that I didn't bring up, bring it up in the comments. You know, let me know. All right, and make sure you subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Instagram. Later.